What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another video. Happy hump day. All right, we're gonna start today with a dad joke. After an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music? I'll give you a second. All right. Here's why. Because he had a ton of sick beats. Get it? Beats. All right, folks. Okay, now that we got the jokes aside, now let's get to some of what's happening in the market. See what's crack-a-lacking, and then I'll let you guys go. And we got Bitcoin over here still over $103.5 thousand US dollars. And Ethereum here is trying to recoup again. It actually went under 2,600 just a few minutes ago, but it went up as much as, what was it, like 2,700? Maybe a little bit over. Yeah, over 2,700 US dollars. And that was yesterday. So has gone down a little bit and then trading sideways. Now all this is this is what's interesting, right? Sometimes you get bad news and it don't matter, prices go up. And then some other times you get good news and prices go down. Like what's up with that? So we had very good inflation data, right, with the CPI. When was it? I think it was yesterday. And it did pump yesterday a little bit, but really didn't do anything, right? I mean, these are the prices that we got over the weekend, so it really didn't do much. I guess there is liquidations going on left and right with longs and shorts, and well, I mean, that's what it is. If we look at the total market cap, right, it's at, well, actually it has gone up and it has been going up, but it actually, this is for the last 30 days, but recently, maybe in the last couple days, it's gone down to, from where, I don't know, 3.4. So it's gone down $0.06 trillion or whatever that is, maybe $6 billion, something like that. I'm not sure, but the whole point is that it's gone down the last couple of days for no reason whatsoever, except maybe again we're playing that whole deal of now we're waiting for PPI tomorrow, see what that's going to say. But a whole bunch of good news. Turned out that China all along was really negotiating with the US and the hush hush, and all these things are actually coming out. And well, that was part of the reason I believe that we saw a pump during the weekend. And then of course there's some really bullish things going on between the US and Saudi Arabia, and God knows what's gonna come out of that. The fear and greed index is greedy, and all season has actually doubled from, I think, the last time that we made a video. I think it was like around 16 or 19, somewhere around there. But still nowhere near an all season, right? I mean, we're still pretty much in Bitcoin territory here, as you guys can see. And let's look at the memes, and pretty much everything is in the red for the last 24 hours. Some things are trying to come back a little, and but we got some big winners here for the last week. So let's see. And guys, consider whenever you see these moves. Now we might see the opposite, where we might see a, I don't know, 5 to 10% decrease, but then, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100%, to the upside. So what I've been trying to do is, whenever I see, a 5% or more move to the downside, I try to DCA on something, right? And that's, I think that's the better move to do than to buy when things have pumped, like 20, 30, 50%. And there's still some good pickups. So, I mean, most of these things have not hit all-time highs, including Pepe here, right? That hit, I think it was like 10 or 11 billion dollars, somewhere around there. So, I mean, it's still, maybe 100% off from there. So 1x more or less. And yeah, so we're seeing pudgy penguins here. One of the few that's actually in the green in the last 24 hours. But some things to pick up. Let's see, maybe peanut, maybe. I mean, I don't have any peanut. It moves quick, right? And so if you guys want to get into any of these things, maybe today it's a good day to do so. Popcat, SPS 6900. I do have a little bit of SPX. So today, if I would try to get any, today may be a good day. And these run quite a bit, right? There was another one that I was looking at here that's actually down quite a bit, and it's this Mudang. And this Mudang, before I started making the video, it was 25% in the red, and it's now moving this. Look at this. In the last hour, almost 11% in the green. So I mean, maybe I'll get a little bit of Mudang, just because this thing, it's moving really, really, really fast. And so, I mean, the last 7 days, I think it was at like 700. So it's gone down significantly here, and it's doing this whole move. Let's see, this was the last 24 hours, right? So let's see the last 7 days. Let me see the last month. Yeah, the last month, an 8x, guys. This is absolutely insane. That's crazy move right there. But yeah, so if you want to grab some Mudang, maybe consider doing this. The way that I do it is I go here, and then I get the contract address. And you could probably get this on the Phantom wallet, right? Maybe get some Sol and trade it for Mudang. What else? What else do we have here? So, yeah, still a lot of red. Don't know what this People Constitution DAO is. I'm not even gonna get in that. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. Fog, also another one that moved quite a bit and is down, double digits. So maybe even this ski mask dog, I honestly don't know what this is. Some punky it's a pretty good pickup, I think. I have some punky, maybe that's a good one also. Let's see what else. Maybe a poo also. DGen, maybe. It's got a good run the last 7 days. So maybe it's a good time to maybe add some DGen. And I don't know, this dog in me, I don't know what this is either, but I don't know, maybe. And of course, Pepecoin, I'm always, keeping my eyes on Pepecoin. It is my second largest bag behind Bitcoin. And I still think Pepecoin is going to do very, 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 and I mean very, very well. So, I did posted this whole, let's see. So I posted this yesterday. When Pepecoin reaches its previous all-time high of about $1 billion market cap, you're looking at over $9 per coin. Now, if you go see here, CoinGecko, and here we see the all-time high of $7.51. So we're down 93%, which is pretty bad, right? I mean, but from the all-time low, we're up extremely a lot. So whoever got Pepecoin at 1 cent, congratulations. I mean, you guys just got a deal of probably the decade. And but I think that Pepecoin has all it needs really to get to all-time highs. What's interesting is that this all-time high was when we had all the tokens in circulation, right? 134 million tokens, something like that. But now what we have is 107. And because that is the case, our calculations of how much it would be per token would be over $9. That is, okay, about a 16x, okay, from current prices. That is a very, very big opportunity there. But again, there's something that I'm gonna end with this. But there's something that I think is kind of maybe holding Pepecoin down. And if you look at, let's look right at, let me see these price actions, right? Let's look at also. So we have here almost 8% on Pepecoin. Okay, and then let's look at BasedAI. And now that's interesting. BasedAI actually is doing a little bit better, even though, look at this is just going down here rather quickly. Well, there you go, 6%. Boom, 6% there. Pepecoin, almost 8% here. And so what is interesting is that both of them are moving almost exactly alike. So, of course, this makes sense, right? Because both projects are, look, same move as BasedAI, same exact move. So somebody is just dumping, right? So my whole thing about this whole play is, I think, okay, that honestly is not having any information on BasedAI was keeping Pepecoin at bay. Which kind of stinks, right? Because Pepecoin is doing really cool stuff. I mean, just with Kekistan, really did some cool stuff, right? And it is really cool to go in there and do the little missions that you can do and the whole nine. But I think that's just what it is, honestly, at the moment, because really there's no other reason why Pepecoin should be 93% from its all-time high. Maybe it should have pumped, I don't know, maybe 100% or at least 50 or 80%. I mean, we have some other tokens that are, I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're meaningless, but they don't really bring anything, and they're pumping a whole bunch, right? Peanut, 150%. For what reason? You know, I mean, I get it. Cabal coins, you got a lot of big wallets, yada 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 yada. But just as the Avengers had a Hulk, we have an FBB4, right? And who knows? We probably have some other big wallets. We still have Wintermute, right? That has quite a bit of Pepecoin tokens, but nothing is doing nothing. Nothing is moving, right? And so, when you look at, the movement on Pepecoin, it's pretty much sideways, guys. For, let me see, the last 7 days, just went up, right, from this 41, and then it just went sideways, complete sideways. That's it. We can't break 60 cents for some really strange reason. And, RSI, everything else, when you look at charts, it should really tell you that, yeah, it should be pumping quite a bit, but it's not. So, and that's what I'm saying. I think that is the uncertainty, right? Just like markets don't like uncertainty, I think it's the uncertainty of BasedAI. I mean, that's my opinion. Don't kill me, guys. I just think that there is too much uncertainty with no communication, none of that. I still think that BasedAI is going to do well if and only if, right? At least at the very minimum, we get some communication with from committer and at least release something. Gotta do something. And we are getting into, as we saw here before, when it was down at 16 or whatever, there was no point in even, releasing anything, right? Maybe we'll have a leg down. Maybe something is going on. Maybe, people are selling because of tomorrow's data. I don't know. But honestly, I will tell you something. I don't think that retail is here at all. I don't know if anybody, any influencers or whatever, anywhere think that there is. I don't think that retail is here. And if they are, it's very little. I honestly think that a lot of this money that has come in is institutional money, is big money, is maybe influencers, KOLs with money that have put their money in and that have pumped the market. Maybe it is Wall Street that has rotated some capital from traditional market into the crypto market. Maybe that's the case. And I think this was probably been happening for the last couple of years with very minimum retail what's it called, with very little retail presence. I mean, I think that we saw a little bit of retail with the whole pump that fun thing, but they were doing their own thing where they were trying to scam people, right? Trying to get a quick buck. And even that I don't think was huge, because when I look at this market cap, we're 2021, guys, the market cap was $3 trillion. Look at this. It's just 0.34 trillion over the whole entirety of 2021. So, I think this is just the same people that, that have been around. Maybe a little bit, of course, a little bit has entered the space and is very, that money is very, what's it called? Defined as to where they're going to put it in. Mainly Bitcoin. Now Ethereum is waking up. Some XRP, definitely some Solana. And then we go into the memes and we see, that whole, putting money into big meme projects or just the cabals doing their thing, one or the other. And going back to Pepecoin, that's the one of the things that I think is good, but then it's also bad, is that it's not a cabal coin, and because it's not a cabal coin, it doesn't make these crazy moves like a lot of these other tokens. And this is the price to pay when we have organic moves, right? And of course, when the token, this project, is connected to the hip with another one, that's not, I'm not saying that they're not doing something. They might be doing something. I do believe that they're doing something. It's just nobody has a clue, and just the uncertainty of it is keeping not just BasedAI where it's at, but also Pepecoin. I mean, it's really fascinating. At the end of the day, very extremely risky to be putting your money into Pepecoin, honestly. But that risk, right? That I guess uncertainty is what brings the opportunity as well. So, you kind of have to take the good with the bad. And I'm betting big on the devs that they are actually gonna make it happen. And that's why I've actually been accumulating more Pepecoin. But don't do what I do, guys. And none of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you guys as I see it. But huge risk with Pepecoin and BasedAI, just because, right? We do have to consider, right, the current status, and that is, with whatever information we've gotten from Committer, they're working on something is so revolutionary that it could, I don't know, potentially be used for bad, and I don't know, exterminate all humankind. I don't know. And I understand why some people are like, oh my goodness, this guy is really just blowing smoke up people's faces, right? So I don't know. It's something to really consider, right, for you guys. For me, I mean, I still hold, and like I told you guys, I continue to add, because I do feel that at least Pepecoin, right, and really BasedAI, they both move, in parallels. Sometimes BasedAI actually moves a little bit more than Pepecoin. Let me see what the 7-day is on BasedAI, and then we'll finish up here. And the last 7 days, 23%. So I mean, pretty similar moves. Anyways, guys, yeah, like I said, I still like both projects. It just makes me uneasy, right, that BasedAI is really not communicating anything. They honestly have, I mean, Committer has said previously that they have enough money to go 12 rounds. I don't know if 12 rounds is 2028 or is 2030 or 2032 or 2040 or 2036. I'm not entirely sure. And if that's the case and you're trying to make the life-changing wealth in this cycle, then maybe BasedAI might not be it, right? But if you're okay in the long run, then you buy, you stack, you DCA, and you just forget about it. that's what I believe I mentioned, like in the beginning of when I found out about BasedAI and Pepecoin. I think that was my play, that BasedAI was going to be a long haul play, maybe multi-year. Pepecoin was more of a this cycle type of play, and maybe sell 90% of it and hold the other 10% for multi-cycles. But I mean, at this point, maybe they're both going to be, long haul. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's I would have liked to see bigger moves on, especially on this AI play here. But once this moves and they do release what they're going to release, then pretty much it's gonna be, sheesh. If they release this thing in the next month or two, guys, get ready. We will become extremely wealthy, because it is going to take Pepecoin to another galaxy. And I'm not even gonna look at the rest of these because everything is down. But anyways, guys, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I still believe that Pepecoin and BasedAI, they are going to do extremely well. The reality is we have to wait, right? If you're trying to get your life-changing wealth in this cycle and you think you can do it with something else, then move to something else. But the risk is that if you do move your funds, right, you sell Pepecoin and you sell BasedAI and you move on to something else, the risk is that maybe BasedAI and Pepecoin do end up moving faster and higher than wherever you move your money, right? I mean, that's just what it is. But it's a bet. It's a bet, that you can take, and you just have to be happy to live with that move. Anyways, for me, I continue to hold NDCA and these projects, and I think that they're going to do well, whether now or moving forward. And if not, I mean, I'm ready to run this to the ground, just like Pepecoin. Even though Pepecoin, I do see a pretty bright future with Pepecoin. I think Pepecoin is gonna do okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace out.